Today we'll be talking to Asy Darlyn, a YouTuber, an event planner, a professional one, I must say. She knows what she does. Now, she gives us segments of her dope wedding she covers on her channel, and we are loving it. Asy Darlyn is growing so fast on YouTube. It's just crazy. Asy, quick one. How are you able to skyrocket on YouTube less than a month? Like you're just going. We keep seeing the celebration on social media. You're just going. How are you able to do that?
I don't think it has anything to do with personal efforts, honestly, because I think like with YouTube, it's just the algorithm and then positioning yourself and trying to keep switching niches to the point where you're more comfortable with what you're sharing. So I am an event planner, so I recently moved from just posting about my events to vlogging about celebrity events. So I think that was what just picked the algorithm because I already had wedding jobs and event jobs have already picked up well. So when I started going into just being a wedding vlogger, talking about celebrity events and all of that, so I saw like the channel picking up, especially when we do famous celebrities and all of that. So basically, algorithm because it's just God.
I see. But anyway, you are doing well. But I have this thing I want to ask you. Where do you get those hilarious clips from? Beginning of your videos, like they are so funny. Where do you get them from? What's the inspiration?
It's Nigerian memes. We always have funny memes one way or the other. There's always something happening somewhere. So we got these memes and I just saw some of them that I can use. And then when I'm doing videos where probably I'm not showing my face, I have still images of memes that I've probably saved that can convey my expression when I'm saying what I'm saying, maybe doing a voiceover. So I have different funny memes I just thought, just as a way of also easing the tension. It's not really, I really don't like being too serious. That's why I try to maybe have an intro that is funny, or maybe have something that people can just enjoy and just laugh about. Or but I like the fact that at least some people like it, so it's nice.
Yes, we like it. It's nice. Keep up. Keep doing it. It's nice. Okay, so now I think you seem to have the trait of leadership. Let's say in today's colloquial, we call it the go-getter. Now, where did this attribute develop from?
Oh, okay. For me personally, I would say it has always been there. I think from family, growing up, having younger siblings. But even when I went to school, my high school I was senior prefect. My university, I was like vice president of petroleum and gas engineering students. I was in SUG, which is like student union. I had this student unionism kind of. I've always wanted to be that kind of person. So I feel like it's something that just comes naturally in terms of knowing how to structure, be a people person. Also, yes, that's it's just part of the package.
It fits you. It's nice. You command power. We can see from your videos. Now, how did you get into the YouTube space, and what has the experience been for you as a creative?
Okay, how I got into YouTube was I think when I clocked 30, I was just like, I mean, F it, I will do what I want to do. Personally, I'm not the kind of person that I like to watch my own content. I don't think I've watched my wedding video more than twice. I can't watch myself on screen. Yeah, I have been that. I'm very critical about myself. Oh, what? Why did I say this? Why did I do this? But I think when I was about to clock 30, I already told myself I was going to start YouTube. I met one of my being a wedding planner. Of course, I have photographers and people that I know tech. So I think Canon M50 just came out that year, and one particular photographer told me, "Okay, buy it," and I bought it. I bought it well, let's say October, September or so of 2018. I didn't use it throughout. I went to Dubai. I didn't vlog anything. In fact, I was vlogging, but I never posted it until 2019. My birthday when I was turning 30, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this YouTube. Whether it comes out well, whether it doesn't come out well. And because I didn't know the outcome, of course, I had like 30 something thousand followers on my company page on Instagram. But YouTube wasn't something of me moving clout from Instagram. It was my own safe space to actually start something that is just me, and I just started small, little by little, just posting about weddings was the niche I know, advising people about weddings until I started doing a little bit about vlogging and all of that. So basically, it was a decision I had to take at some point because we all want to start. If you keep saying I will start, I'm going to start, I'm going to start, you have to just start with something. For me, then, in fact, starting, I paid an actual videographer. Like, I paid these people film music videos. That's their level of videography. I knew if I didn't spend money to tell them to do short form content for me that I can post, I won't be serious. So having committed funds, having professional videographer shoot, like my very first video was like a 1 minute trailer for my birthday. So that was a videographer that did it and all of that. So I feel after committing to those kind of people, it now gave me the ginger, the extra, push to say, you know what, your money is already in it. Start moving, start creating content. Whether or not people like it, just keep pushing it. So that's basically how I started.
And I think it's paying off now. Like no regrets at all.
Oh yeah,
Like
no regret
with the
at all.
numbers and everything.
No
Yes.
regret at all. No regret at all.
Okay. So now I want to know which part of content creating do you enjoy the most? Now, is it the energy to create, or is it the end game of what you want your viewers to experience?
I feel for me it's the experience because I'm always like I always like to reply comments. So the comments and the feedback is where I enjoy. Like I'm there in the comments, trying to answer every single person. Sometimes answering comments takes me like 4 5 hours because it's not like a generic answer for everybody. I have to, go calm down and answer. The more we grow, of course, the tougher it becomes. But I find that that is where I draw fulfillment. So there are little things I add in the videos, and when you see people pick those things up, like when I started with the funny intros, it was just something I liked. I didn't know people would like it. At some point, people come for the intro, like they are there and they say, "Man, intro, I'm here for you." The intro now keeps them to watch the other part, and then you add something little here, and somebody notices it and puts it in the comments. I feel like it's always the end result. Yeah, if when you see people appreciating the work you put into your content, that's for me is more fulfilling than even the work you put it out to go and capture it and edit it and all of that. I think it's the end that actually inspires me more.
I guess you enjoy the editing then.
Editing is tough. Like my own content, if I'm going to be talking about celebrity gist or something simple, sit down content, they are easier to edit. But when I'm doing wedding related content, wedding vlogs, they are so tough because a lot of things go into it. You have to watch and watch and watch. And it's a lot. But I do all my filming on my phone, and that's how I've been able to do it. It's I don't use laptop or whatever. Probably maybe move it to the laptop to upload faster. But everything is done on the phone, shot on the phone, edited on the phone. So that's why I can maybe on the go when I'm in the kitchen, I just cut, edit, put my earpiece, and I'm okay. I feel for me, it's
Sure.
usually the end result. Knowing that people will appreciate it or people appreciate your work is what makes you go through the editing process. Because editing is not easy now. Even me right now, I'm actively looking for an editor. I'm actively looking for one.
Guys, you heard it here. She's looking for an editor, and Asy will be big. Like, trust me. I'm able to tell people who are going to like be very huge in the industry. Trust me. If you're an editor, better go to Asy. Okay. So now you seem very well organized in your personal and like professional life. How have you been able to create this well-balanced lifestyle, being a mom to your adorable son, being a wife, your revenues of income, and your continual learning skills?
I think for me, I choose my battles. I choose my battles. When I started YouTube, I didn't start it as a motherhood channel, family vlog kind of channel. So everything has always been in their own place. So it's always easy for me to move from one point to the other. But of course, there's going to be challenge. Starting off since it was just a side thing. It wasn't as challenging, but the more you grow, the more you have to deliberately space for it. So I have a full-time job as an event planner. Luckily for me, I have staff. But I'm also the kind of person that wants to be in the know. I want to know what's going on. And then with family and then with my son and all of that. I actually don't sleep. I don't. I have like very poor sleep. I probably sleep maybe like 3 a.m. almost every other day, and this is not even. I won't. I won't blame the YouTube and the pressure because from engineering pressure to when I do courses, I've been that kind of person. I can't sleep when I have an idea push. I don't mind staying up at night and executing it. So sometimes I find that I can edit at night. So I'll finish my home duties. Everybody's sleeping. I'm in the living room editing videos, arranging content, and then I'll put it up to upload while I go to bed. So maybe in the morning, the video has uploaded, edit the thumbnail, arrange it maybe to post later in the evening that same day. So when I got into like sort of like a structure, it just helped me a bit more. Yes, the pressure is always there. The pressure is always there. Like right now, August was very tough for me because of events. We had events almost every week. And what I did was September, I cleared out September, October, November or YouTube, I've gotten, luckily for me, I've gotten to that point where I can now select the kind of events I want to do. And then if I see that the pressure is too much and I want to focus on just this one thing, I build. Because December is also a crazy month for event planning and the rest. So we have a lot in December. I just feel at this point, I will try to build the YouTube to a point that if I leave you people for 2 weeks and I don't start feeling too bad because people know, like, okay, I'm working on this thing. Sometimes I envy people that can do this full time because if I have like an editor full time, a videographer full time, and this is the only thing I do, I will go head first, and push as much content as I can. Test the waters whether or not this one is working. Highest you will fail. It's not like you will die. If you put this one, it doesn't work. That's fine. You put the next one. I think that's also a question I get asked a lot. Like, how come you do all these plenty things and are you not afraid of failure? I'm not afraid of failure, Ni. That, like, for me, I do not fear failure. Failure is one thing I don't fear. The worst that will happen is you will fail. It's not that you will die. So what's that one? Yes, it's fair you, and if something is not working, you move to the next one. There's no mourning, there's no sackcloth and anything. So I feel like when I put that kind of pressure on myself to make sure I achieve, it also keeps me up, make sure I find a way to balance it because family ball is like a glass ball. You can't break it. In where you're pursuing everything, pushing, you have to be careful with that ball. When you're juggling all your balls, the family ball is like glass. Career ball, it depends on the career. Plastic, it can be rubber. There are other things that you're juggling. So, but the ones that are more fragile, we try as much as possible to make sure that whatever we are doing outside, it doesn't really affect. And because I don't really show so much, I kind of separate the physical aspect. I'm able to manage it a little better. That's basically how I work.
I must say, merging your service as an event planner and presenting it as a segment for content on your channel is a smart move. Like, it's a smart move. As in, like, they're doing your work, but after the work, you also have something to present on your channel. It's a smart move. Content creation is not easy.
It's not
Yeah.
at all.
Now, event industry is a huge business in Nigeria. Can you give us more light on its potential as a huge income generating revenue in Nigeria's economy?
Yeah, events generate like largely hundreds of millions of dollars. It's even on Google, it's everywhere you can get it. Um, Depends on the state also. Nigeria is very big. We have like 36 states, and with each state almost 200 million people. Every other Saturday, somebody is getting married. So I personally tell people it's a very profitable business if you want to join because there are so many arms in events. And being an event planner is even one of the arms that is least profitable. It might just be a bit profitable, not as much as other arms. So you can maybe have an event center that you rent out. You can have rental chairs. You can be a caterer, photographer, makeup artist. There are different arms. So even when COVID came, you can imagine the number of people that were out of jobs because event was the first one because our kind of business, we have to gather people. And COVID was about separating people and social distancing. So the industry got hit a lot, but in terms of revenue, income for the country, event planning is bringing it. So even all these are political conventions, there are events, and planners have to work into like making sure that in terms of I've done one. I think I did it even twice. Was the Carol Night in my state, and a lot goes into planning an event where 20,000 people are going to attend. So you're talking about exit points, how to disperse the crowd without stampede, and a lot. So I feel even the government knows that. Of course, the industry is something that brings in a lot of income, because the average Nigerian wedding right now has different tiers. So there's the upper average, middle average, and lower average. So even when people say, just what's the cost of an average wedding? I really don't know, because it depends. Are you upper average, middle average, or lower average? So if I'm just going to say off the top of my head, somebody should be looking at 15 to 20 million, like in Naira, to do like an average okay wedding, and it's a lot. So imagine how many people doing those kind of events every other weekend, that kind of money profitable is profitable.
Okay, so now you covered a wedding where an app was used for guests to order for their wedding menu, right?
Oh, I wasn't even the
Yes.
planner. I was part of like,
Okay.
yeah, in my vlogs. Like I said, like yes, I do my own events, but also what I started inculcating, I think from Rita Dominic's wedding, because she's an actress that I like. And that was the first wedding where I basically told my husband, I was like, I'd like to cover this wedding like a wedding blogger, because I'm also into software, and I feel like event planning is something that I might not actively be in the front, because we have staff. I have a lead planner in my company. Everything is going well without me. What will I be doing with my knowledge of events if I'm not actively planning? So I can be a wedding vlogger. I can see a celebrity wedding, analyze it. I can host it on my channel, just as other vloggers. So I think that's what I started doing with the Dominic's own, Kemi Adetiba, different celebrities that started getting married from then. And this one that they used the app, yeah, it was done in Abuja. That one was serious. That serious money. Knee.
Well, with that being said, this is my question. As the stakes get higher to outdo the wedding experience of the guests, where do you see the industry in 5 years?
With the event companies and event industry right now, we've got a lot of offers like that. That's not even the first time we're seeing the app system, because even some restaurants, you basically use the app. So if those restaurants are catering, they bring their technology. So the app based will be more frequent. But this is the thing, yeah. When we get offers of merging technology with our processes, just as a way of speeding things up, because we have automated access cards. Access cards, basically, you swipe, your face comes out, your details come out, your table comes out. They have found ways to make sure events become more exclusive, yeah. But also, we need to understand that even no matter how much technology comes on board, we need to also leave a space for those that cannot afford that technology, because sometimes we can get so driven by the luxury, and then the gap between planning a wedding that everybody likes is so far apart from a normal wedding. It's not like the people are poor, quote unquote. It's just that they are not bringing all those technologies and all. And with the way social media and all these things are going, I'd like to strike a balance. That's why I always tell people, don't be pressured, don't be pressured. These things will come. These different apps, scan body scanning. We have different. Most times when you see those kind of things, you know that the budget is unlimited. Yeah, because if, like, say in a wedding in Ghana, somebody has the app-based system, it then means if 5,000 guests order for just jollof rice, the jollof rice is able to feed 5,000 people. So if 5,000 people ask for pasta, you understand? So that kind of wedding is, if me we are planning a wedding for 600 and we maybe do the love 200, this one 200, we can't, it won't be wisdom for us to use an app, because if everybody's clicking just the jollof rice, they are going to complain that, oh, by the time I wanted to eat food, the jollof rice had finished, because they saw it on the app. So that's why I feel like, yes, in the next 5 years, it's going to get a lot more robotic in the industry. Like we'll have more um, fusion with tech and the rest, because also the people doing tech, they're doing business. So they've been approaching us a lot. There's a tech-based company that approached us in terms of styling. So basically, bridesmaids and groomsmen, you go to the app, you put in your measurements are sent electronically, sent it electronically to the designer that does this. That. So they're finding ways to make sure that everything, but still the experience should not, like, imagine if you're doing a wedding that, of course, the people have money, but you're doing it probably in a village. The experience for that guest is not to come here and press apps or whatever. They just want to have a good time. They just want to eat food and dance and be happy. So I feel, for me, my advice would be for industry people to know how to strike the balance. So you don't find that when you bring all these apps, you go to villages, you give them the apps, and maybe they steal the remotes. What are you going to do? They don't know what they want to do with it. So yes, there's a way we can abuse it, and there's also a way we can strike a balance. So those that cannot afford the app point, I mean, you can still get married. Don't worry about that one. But you know that luxurious weddings are still going to go on. So my advice is just cut your coat according to your size, because it's going to get a lot more. Like, this one is just stepping stone. One thing I don't want to see is the silent disco. You know, the silent disco that is in parties where they put the headset. Somebody might decide, oh, I want to maybe wed in a place where they don't want noise. Silent disco for your guests. I don't know if I like it, but I'm seeing that soon it will start coming into events, and I feel like it might spoil the experience or whatever. But let's see how it goes. I just find that, of course, with recent years, as times are changing, events are going to be more automated and with fusion of a lot of technologies.
I think the silent disco thing will be very weird. Seeing everybody moving without hearing anything, it will be crazy.
So I feel these are our Gen Z people. There's nothing that they cannot do. There's nothing
Yes.
they cannot do. I'm afraid of
Very
them. They
true.
will do it. They will do it. These ones will do it. So I will just keep our fingers crossed.
So this is where we ask you to give us your 3 favorite YouTubers in Nigeria. I know you have some favorites in Ghana, but don't worry, you can just chip them in.
Mostly my friends, the people that I'm used to, Nello, KK, Adeze Space, Chantel, people that are basically around me. And funny enough, they're all based in Port Harcourt. I know that they are fantastic, very big YouTubers, but I'm just saying, like, for me, I'm mainly drawn to channels that, okay, I know them. But we have the big people that I know, like, inspired the whole movement, and I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them. We know them at different points. But apart from those, my people that I watch, I feel like with the kind of niche I in, it's not a lot of YouTubers in that niche. You understand? So wedding vlogging kind of niche, I don't have like so many YouTubers that are my favorite because of the niche. You understand? So that makes my selection very different. I have favorite Ghanaian YouTubers. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I think people call it Kojo for some weird reason. It's looking like Kwado. It's not Kwado. Kojo Sheldon.
The name is Kojo Sheldon. Kojo Sheldon.
I don't know why. I just really, really like his stuff. I really like the channel, the setup. In fact, when I show like videographers I'm trying to get, I'm like, I need this kind of setup where I know that if I'm going in here to the studio, I'm producing content, that kind of. I'm seeing it like with this particular channel, what you're doing. I find it inspired. Like, if I'm seeing people doing something that I want to do, having a studio, having your boom mic, and just having your discussions, that's the kind of vibe I'm looking at. And of course, shout out to the grandmaster Wudemaya. Wudemaya came to Nigeria. I think I was on 200 subscribers or so when we first met, and him and Miss Trudy, their shout outs and the rest, I gained like, I now got to 500 subscribers. I will never forget, how much they did for me. Like, I was so amazed because, I was just starting, 200 subscribers. I was so happy when they came to the city. So yeah, them and Abina's World. When I was in Ghana last December. So Abina's World is a vlogger. She even came up and met me. So I find that I might come to Ghana again. Maybe because of the Agri in my name. I have plenty Ghanaian favorites because of my name. So yeah.
All right, Asy Darlyn, can we have your final message? You can encourage people out there, people doing YouTube and falling off. Tell them something.
Okay, so for my last words of encouragement to fellow content creators, I find that you should encourage yourself. Sometimes it's tough when you say, "Oh, I'm not getting encouragement." I find that for me, the best encouragement you can give is you encouraging yourself. Encourage yourself in the Lord. Encourage yourself. YouTube is a platform that we've been seeing some weird changes in views, changes in this. And that's why also another advice would be also find something else you can do as a side business, as a side hustle for when this algorithm decides to act up and you're getting low views. It's a space that you should take with, yes, you should be serious, but you should also be a bit free, be easy on yourself. I find if you're going to spend so much money in production and it doesn't come out, it's very, very heartbreaking. Like you feel so sad. I want to encourage you, if there's a way you can draw back on some certain things just so that you can at least strike even, because a lot of content creators, when they talk about the YouTube and giving up, some of them find they have spent so much money. Maybe you're a travel vlogger, you've traveled to the places, and then even after spending all that money, you can't even get enough to cover your flight ticket or your bus fare to those places where you went to shoot the content. And I find that if that is not working, for me, I like giving realistic advice. Draw back a bit, do other less expensive content, find your groove again, keep building, keep pushing. In terms of those that are growing, I feel like this new generation, you people are too hard on themselves. I think maybe I'm a bit more relaxed because I started when I was 30, and I'm like, any win, even if I get extra 1,000 subscribers, I celebrate it because I'm even marveled that 1,000 people can choose to watch me. So you find people that have 5,000 subscribers not being appreciative. Do you know that there are some churches that don't even have up to 5,000 members? So it's a lot. When you begin to see things like that, you get 1,000 views. Imagine 1,000 people saw your content and looked at it. It's a lot. So see things in that angle where you begin to appreciate. If you feel 1,000 people in a room, that's a lot of eyeballs. That's a lot of eyeballs. And with that, just being able to stop getting glued under big YouTuber, small YouTuber tag. It's a mentality thing. It's a mentality thing. Wherever you are, just keep pushing. It's not going to be easy. No journey is easy. But I find that, why are you afraid of failure? Who told you you're failing? Okay, views are down. That's okay. What can you change? What can you do? What can you, tweak here and there? We are all learning. Personally, I'm still learning. Everybody's learning. Even with my small knowledge of software, I find that you cannot game the AI fully. You cannot game the AI fully. Some videos that they say how to get views, are you not surprised that those videos don't get as much views as maybe a random video that they did? So that's why I find, please, let's be a bit more easy on yourself. Be a bit more easy on yourself as a YouTuber. Find something else to do. If I'm going to give you these advices in bullet points, be easy on yourself. Number two, find something else to do, an extra hustle, something else. And this something else you're doing should relate to your content. That way, you're getting money from it and you're also putting it out as a content. Because Nee was pointing out the fact that I do weddings and I put my wedding content because I'm being paid as a wedding planner. And then I also get a content from the wedding and I put it up on YouTube. So it's like dual purpose. So I find that if you do something that pays you and you can also push it out as a content, it will help you. And the third one, man, persevere. Nothing good comes easy. So that will be my final words for everybody.
Thanks for coming. We really appreciate it. It's an honor to this channel and we'll never forget this favor. Thanks so much. Guys, subscribe to Asy Darlyn and you'll never regret it. Thanks for watching and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.